Hello and welcome to this Norbord, my cabinet guide video on how to assemble a 1000mm base unit and, if required, turn it into a sink unit. It's always best to assemble your unit on the cardboard box. That way you can protect the panels. I take my shelf. The fittings for the shelf have already been inserted. That's the beauty of Cooke & Lewis. All the fittings have been pre-inserted for you that you require to assemble the unit. My back panel, and it comes pre-drilled for your shelf supports. My first side panel, and I'm going to turn this one round like this. And this is now my left-hand side panel. I turn this one round, and this is now my right-hand side panel. I don't require the other components at this time, so I'm going to move them out the way. But you have a drawer rail. You don't require this drawer rail if you're actually turning this into a sink unit. You have a centre munting. A back rail. Fittings have been pre-inserted. Your leg pack and any additional fittings that you require. And the last panels in my box are the base panel and the front rail. In each box there is an assembly guide. Please take the time to read this, as there is useful information on here that will help you to build your unit. It also tells you what items are in the box and the minimum tools required to get the job done. So I've laid my end panels out. This is my right hand one and this is my left hand one. Now I've laid it out so that they are back to back. I take my back panel, making sure that it's groove to groove, tighten the cams up. I insert my front rail. This front rail goes in like this. And again, tighten the cam up as you go. I get my back rail, and the fittings for the back rail go behind so you can't see them. You would normally use this hole and this hole if you're building your standard unit up. But what you should do is you should move your back rail from here down to these two holes here, or if necessary you can even move them down to these two holes here. You need to reposition your back rail, cut your back to the required height, and so this is how you do it. Put your back rail in there. This leaves you enough space here for your pipes to run up your service gap nice and neat into your sink. To measure for your back panel now, if you measure between the base and the bottom of your back rail, and this is 310mm, you need to allow an extra 4mm at the top and bottom. So that would be 318mm. So I take my back panel and I now mark from the bottom upwards 318mm. So that's to there. I repeat further down. So taking my level, I line my two lines up. Draw a line. And this is all waste, and that's the part I'm going to cut off. It's advisable when cutting laminate boards that you should wear safety glasses and also anti-slip gloves if you've got them. I've now cut my back panel to the required height. I'm going to slide it into the groove. You can use a cordless screwdriver to put the fittings in on your unit, but we would recommend a handheld screwdriver, because that way when you're putting the fittings in you can make sure you don't over tighten them. So before I turn my unit onto its base, I need to fit my centre munting. These two holes go towards the top of the unit. So taking the 50mm screws required, The groove and the shelf support holes always go towards the inside. So I tighten this up now. Repeat for the bottom. So I turn my unit over so you can see what it looks like adapted. So there you have the gap where your bowl of your sink would go, and also a space for your pipes to run up nice and neat into your sink. All you need to do now is fit the legs, put the unit to the wall, fit the door.